Okay guys, Dragonfire's backstory. I'm making this short. This is my third attempt at it, believe it or not. So I'm kind of pissed off at my computer and me. Yeah. Okay. Long ago, when the city of Equestria was barely formed, ponies called elementalists, who were alicorns and extremely powerful, lived. They were ruled by King Tempest and Queen Galandrina. Galandrina controlling the air, Tempest controlling the wind. Each pony of the elementalists represented an element and a virtue. The element of wind and the virtue of freedom. The element of earth, and the virtue of passion. The element of water and the virtue of confidence. The element of storm and the virtue of forgiveness. The element of ice and the virtue of strength, but the last virtue was the most important and most powerful. The element of fire and the virtue of hope. So, the king and the queen, Tempest and Galandrina, had two children. One they named Dragonfire, for at birth she showed amazing power and could possibly be the one pony in a million who could control the legendary element of fire. The other they named Tsunami, for she showed confidence right away at everything she had done, and had loved the water since birth. However, around this time, war broke out between the ponies of Equestria and the Elementalists. The Equestrian ponies claimed that the Elementalists had stolen the elements of harmony, a prospect that they denied. The Equestrian ponies continued claiming this. The Elementalists continued denying until full war broke out. Neither the Elementalists or the Equestrian ponies really won, although the Elementalists were the ones that were all defeated. The Equestrian ponies suffered terrible losses. It was only when they used elements of harmony that they were able to defeat the most powerful magic in the entire world. Yet two fillies survived. One was Dragonfire, the other Tsunami. Split up by the war, both sought out their own path. Dragonfire began training in the ever-free forest, using her magic to defeat the creatures until she was feared by all. In fact, some of the ponies of Equestria had heard of her and her legendary power, and they hid. They were all very scared of the mystical creature. The word never reached Celestia and Luna, who were very young still. However, still older than Dragonfire nevertheless. Dragonfire would often practice her magic in the forest. And one day when she noted a young colt staring at her. She looked at him back and stopped her magic. He was very scared. She said she wouldn't hurt him, and she was quite bored actually, and the two began playing around. The colt told her his name was Sombra, and Dragonfire told him she was Dragonfire. He didn't know she was an elementalist, and he didn't care what's more. So they were a perfect match in reality. Eventually, Sombra's visits became fewer and fewer until he stopped coming altogether. Dragonfire completely forgot about Sombra. For years, in fact. Dragonfire grew into a young mare, Sombra a young stallion. However, neither of them saw each other. And one day, when Dragonfire was using her magics again, Sombra appeared in the forest. Immediately recognizing each other, the two were happy, and spent many weeks talking and laughing together. Neither of them knew it, but they were slowly falling in love. Meanwhile, Celestia and Luna had heard of Dragonfire's antics, and had decided to finally investigate, seeing the citizens said her magical viewings had become more and more recent. Celestia found her talking to Sombra, and then remembered that Sombra had been the suspect of using dark magic. However, he was deemed not guilty. She confronted Dragonfire and said she had to come with her. Dragonfire refused, and the two fought, Dragonfire's magic of fire against Celestia's of the sun. The battle was hard and very fierce. Neither side was backing down, and Sombra was extremely scared. Either of them could have died. But it was somehow that Dragonfire was overpowered finally, in the end. Celestia was the winner, and she took Dragonfire and imprisoned her. However, in prison, something happened to Dragonfire. We don't really know what it was. No one did. But somehow she burst out and became the incredibly powerful Eternal Fire. Eternal Fire was deadly, and her reign lasted a century, until she was defeated by the elements of harmony and locked up in a volcano. Until thousands of years later, Dragonfire awoke again. Same this time. No longer Eternal Fire, she began looking for Sombra.